Oi, pessoal, sejam bem-vindos a mais um podcast aqui no canal Expedindo Kardec. Hoje eu tô aqui com o David, né, do Arthur College. A gente vai fazer uma entrevista falando do movimento do moderno espiritualismo, né, no Reino Unido, né, e desse colégio, né, para médiums. Então, uma primeira pergunta que eu queria perguntar é como se iniciou o movimento espiritualista no Reino Unido, né? E como se iniciou o T espiritualista nacional União, né? A União Nacional Espiritualista. David.
Hello, it's good to be with you. Spiritualism, modern spiritualism, started in 1848 with the phenomena that happened in Hydesville in New York State. It came first to the UK in 1853, where a lady called Maria Hayden visited the country and started the process of spiritualism growing in the UK. Over the next few years, churches began to spring up literally all over the country, and the interest in spiritualism was very, very strong. It was at a time where the Industrial Revolution was happening around the world, and life was changing for so many people. Generally, people were becoming better educated and had a greater understanding and a greater need, perhaps, to be able to direct their own lives. The Spiritualist National Union, the organization of which I was president, began in 1901. We had all these churches growing up around the country, and there needed to be a central national body to coordinate and support the churches. The role of the union has grown over the considerable time that we've been in existence, and our work primarily is to both support our affiliated churches and also to propagate spiritualism within the UK and now literally around the world. We do this through education, through training, through representation, through government, and as such, we work incredibly hard to promote the spiritualist message, which is a message that has the ability to transform our lived experience.
Então, agora a segunda questão, né? Como é o movimento atualmente, né? Como é que está esse movimento nos dias atuais?
Here in the UK, the Spiritualist National Union has 320 affiliated churches and centres. Looking back at the history of spiritualism, certainly here in England, our strongest point from a point of view of numbers was between the First and Second World War, where we had over 500 affiliated churches at the time. But like life, spiritualism is also changing. And now through our internet-based branch, SNUI, we actually share the message of spiritualism in some 34, 35 countries around the world. And we have many members in countries literally spread around the world, throughout Europe, America, Canada, Australia, into the Far East, Japan. So the message of spiritualism is growing, and the family of spiritualism is becoming equally strong and interested in the message that spiritualism has for the world today in the 21st century.
Então, a terceira questão é como se iniciou o Arthur Findlay College, né? Qual é a história da fundação dessa instituição?
In turning to the Arthur Findlay College, I think first I have to reflect on Arthur Findlay, the man. Findlay was undoubtedly one of our foremost pioneers, in as much as he came upon spiritualism through an experience that he had in Glasgow in Scotland, where he walked into one of our churches and experienced mediumship that really stopped him in his tracks. Arthur Findlay was a very, very intelligent man, and he had a very questioning mind and a great interest in religion in general. And he actually challenged the gentleman who was running the service to prove what he'd seen and what he was claiming. And as a result, he was invited to attend in a private house the next evening a séance. He sat in the dark with a group of people that he'd never met before and had no knowledge of them, they had no knowledge of him. And towards the end of the evening, he experienced a phenomena of having his father, who had passed some years before, materialize in front of him. And during that experience, Arthur's father shared experiences that no one else knew about. And from that point, he decided he had to explore this spiritualism. He wanted to understand how it worked and the claims that it made. So Arthur retired at the age of 43 in 1923, and he decided he wanted to move from Scotland, Glasgow, where he was based and he had his business interests, to find a retirement home. And he searched and searched and found a place called Stansted Hall, which has now become the Arthur Findlay College. In 1940s, he started to formulate the idea of having a place to go where people could train in the arts of the psychic sciences and mediumship in particular. So Arthur approached the Spiritualist National Union with the view of leaving his home, which is a beautiful Victorian house built in an estate of Essex countryside, which at the time was over 400 acres, to the Spiritualist National Union to establish what became known as the Arthur Findlay College. Arthur passed to spirit in 1964, and in 1966, the Union opened the Arthur Findlay College. Over the last 50 odd years, the college has grown, has blossomed, and now literally we welcome students to study mediumship, spiritualism, philosophy from all over the world.
Então, agora a quarta questão: como é a organização, né, da faculdade e quais são os cursos que se pode realizar nela?
The college has been established as a residential college, and the majority of our courses last for 7 days, though we do some shorter weekend courses as well. It is literally open to anyone, and we have people coming who have no experience or knowledge of spiritualism or development within the mediumship field. And then we also have people who are well practiced, and many of them are already working mediums and healers in their own right, in their own country. But literally the college is open to everyone. As I've said, the courses are residential. We have a capacity for just over 100 students on a weekly basis. And the areas we cover are wide. As I've said, we cover mediumship and the development of mediumship. And we have created over the last 50 plus years a very good reputation for teaching. Our tutors who teach both at the college but also internationally have a fine reputation for the level of support that they provide to the students and the understanding that they can get studying mediumship, communication, healing, contact and absent healing, the philosophical side of spiritualism, the scientific side of spiritualism, because we recognize that much of what we claim as spiritualists can actually be evidenced through research that has been going on over the last 100 or so years and continues today. Also, many people that come to the college tend to fall in love with the place. It is a beautiful building, and the facilities there, we work very hard to ensure that coming to the college is about more than just the learning. It's about sharing a week in the presence of people of like minds who are equally trying to expand their knowledge and their understanding of spiritualism. So literally every week we have new courses. The college opens towards the middle of January and runs right through to the middle of December, where we close for a month to do some necessary maintenance work. And the best thing to do is to actually go and visit our website, which is www.arthurfindlaycollege.org.uk. And on there, I laid out the whole program of the college. We work 2 years in advance with our courses, and all of the information is there about booking a course and how to get extra support and help and advice and guidance if you want to visit the college. And also there is a gallery of photographs, and you will be able to appreciate the beauty of the building. The Arthur Findlay College is truly a special place. You can study mediumship and you can study spiritualism in many, many places around the world. But there is something unique and very special about the Arthur Findlay College. And in my view, it's well worth a journey to visit and experience that unique atmosphere at Stansted Hall.
Então, chegando ao fim da entrevista, né, eu queria, lembrando que eu vou deixar na descrição o site, né, do Arthur College, né, e eu queria ouvir as considerações finais do David.
Many people throughout the world have some kind of thought or concept of life beyond this physical world. Many religions actually teach about the afterlife, and they have different views and opinions about it. Spiritualism is slightly different because it actually provides evidence to support what we claim. And through the ability of a medium, you can find that reuniting of people that have taken that step beyond this world. I challenge anyone, once you have that knowledge and you've received that evidence, not to change your view on living in here in the 21st century and your approach to life. That knowledge, that understanding is transformational by the very experience, and it can bring an amazing uplift and inspiration into your life. Life can never quite be the same again, but in a very positive way, it helps many, many people. Even as spiritualists, we feel the loss of people that we love. And with our knowledge and through communication achieved through mediumship, that veil that separates the two worlds can be pierced, and we can know and understand that our loved ones are not lost to us, but walk oftentimes by our side as we move forward in this physical life. It brings hope, it brings inspiration, and in a time when life is very uncertain and many of the aspects of life seem to have been snatched away from us as a result of COVID-19, it brings that hope and that reassurance of life eternal. And for me, that's something very special that needs to be shared with anyone who is interested to learn a little bit more about the reality of life.
Mas então é isso, eu queria agradecer ao David pela entrevista e foi realmente muito bom. E eu queria pedir para quem estiver assistindo que se inscreva, compartilha, curta, né? E nos vemos no próximo vídeo, no próximo podcast. Até mais, até a próxima.